website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. There's one skill I learned when I started improvising and learning how to solo that is so fundamental and so incredibly useful that you should really do everything you can to get your hands on it and to make sure that you master it. Because from that point on, you can just put all kinds of other tools to that simple little skill and develop from there. But you have certainty that you can get the job done because you can do that one thing that brings you, So let's look into it. I'm just going to give you a little bit of theory here, or a little bit about the tools I use now in order to get down to business here. If you play in minor or major, you know the blues realm, right? Where we can use the blues scale. We have, and we go. Oh, I wasn't recording there. Right? And in that realm, rock blues or blues, you can. And that was the first thing I learned, to move in that, right? To play some stuff that sounded like that. So I basically had my first position blues scale shape that everybody knows when they start soloing. And then I learned to have that sound in the background of just the A or whatever. And then I learned a couple of licks, and then I developed those, and pretty soon I could go. But that same scale, if you remove the blue note, you can make it sound completely different. But I should say that the next step for me was then I had these rock songs and these blues songs, and that was blues-based, and I could really use that sound in that one-position scale shape. But then if you move to the major-minor realm, where we suddenly have more chords that are, like a pop song or a rock song that's in C and G, for instance, then suddenly I couldn't go. I knew that I could use the C major pentatonic because we're in C major now. And I also knew that the C major pentatonic is the same as the A minor pentatonic because those are parallel tonalities. So if you have your first position A minor pentatonic shape that you can turn into the blues scale shape by adding the blue note, then you know that if you go up to the second note of that, you have a C, and that means that your A minor pentatonic shape here is the same as the C major pentatonic. And I knew that I could use that to play, but I couldn't use my bluesy kind of licks so I had to do something else. I had to learn how to use the same skill and produce a different sound, and that was the beginning of everything. Because now we're talking. So I started having a C major chord in the background that I would record on my tape recorder and then have play. And then I was, instead of, that doesn't sound too good, but it's the right scale, right? But then I started, investigating what notes sound good over that C major. And I had my favorite area of the minor pentatonic blues scale shape was the D and the G string, that whole tone interval on the D and the G string there, and the 5th and the 7th fret. I used to end all my lines in that area. But now I would take the same area and then play something majorish instead. And that had me focus on totally different notes. I didn't know what notes. I just tried, and I found out that that's a good note, but that's just the C, right? That's also a good note. 5th fret D string sounds good in major. And if I slide up 2 frets from the 7th to the 9th, that's a cool note too. And now I could start instead of, right, I could go hitting those notes. Hear how much you can do with just that little area? Right? So, and that was a total shift for me because now I could play in both major and minor. What about minor? You just play blues, but blues is the same as minor. I could use because if I play A minor, right? I could just play my bluesy stuff. Right? Sounds great in minor because that sound is also minorish. Right? So the next step for me was staying in the same freaking place on the fretboard in the same shape and going back from using that same shape to play minor and playing major and back and forth. And suddenly I had the power, right? So I went and A minor and C major. Those parallel tonalities. I could go A minor, major, minor, major, minor, right? And although that might seem like a little thing in Claus, that you only know one scale shape and you're just playing the two middle strings. I mean, how low can you go? But that's an amazing foundation because now I can take that little skill and I can expand it to the rest of the fretboard, right? And if I play just that start, because we have 7 chords in any minor or major key, right? 7 different chords we can choose from. But just learning how to go from the minor tonic to the major tonic, just play A minor with that scale and play C major with the same scale, just made my ears ready to play over any chord, right? So the next step then is to take that A minor pentatonic and combine it with the A natural minor, or combine it, so it becomes A minor scale with the A minor pentatonic on top. Or you can say that exact thing in another way. Take the C major scale, which is the same thing as the A natural minor scale, and combine it with the C major pentatonic. Same combination. And so I started borrowing notes from those scales as well. If this is confusing to you, please go back and watch some of my other videos. But let's just try and do the C major. Right? We have that in the background now. And then I would combine that same area and go. Now I could just expand what I knew already. I could take that little area and then add the extra notes from the C major scale. And then return back to what I knew, right? Just a little spice there. Right? But because I'm learning in layers, I can master something first, and then I can add a little to it. Like introducing the C major scale, and then I could do the same thing with the A minor. Same realm again. Same combination of, not same realm, but same combination of scales. Same scale shapes that I'm combining here. A minor pentatonic with the A natural minor. Right? I knew that, so I could easily go. And get to know those notes as well in that first position minor pentatonic scale shape, right? And I could combine the A minor pentatonic with the Dorian minor, which is basically just playing the G major scale on top of or in combination with the A minor pentatonic. I have a whole video on this where we combine scales that says the only thing you need to know about something. But just, look through my my YouTube videos. But so I could just do that in one place. So now I could go into any venue, any situation and solo and know what I was doing with those simple tools in one place on the neck. I could always expand and use other scale shapes or just learn the same thing in another shape. Like in my second favorite pentatonic shape, the fourth shape, which would be in the 12th fret in the case of A minor. And then I can do the same thing up here. But that strategy of taking one area and then being able to solo confidently in major and minor in the blues realm, and then taking that and then expanding it bit by bit is just the way you want to go, because that creates a place where you can have fun and you can expand that fun. Instead of saying I have to learn all scale shapes and have to know all the arpeggios and everywhere before I can start having fun and playing and sounding like a pro. BS. That is absolutely the most inefficient path you can choose. Create something. This is all about focus again and mastery, right? Create a little place, 2 strings, 1, or 3 strings, and then a little bit more, right? In that one place where you can sound confident, you can really make it happen. And then expand and expand and expand. 1 note a day extra, 1 fret, 1 position you play around with each week or each day will just bam, and you won't have to wait 2 years before you can actually start making some sense when you solo. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.